I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Plaggio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, I'm up here in Alaska. What's turning out to be one of my favorite places. I'm spending a lot of time fishing with you, Ralph. It's been great. You know,
it has been. It's been good competition, too.
Yeah, it's been fun. I tell you what, we're up at the Gone Fishin Lodge, and we've had a camera crew up here for over a week, and I only got to come up for a few days, but we've been packing in a lot of different fishing. You're going to see a couple of shows out of this. But today we're going to be doing what's one of your favorite trips. I think the way you guys talk about this, you really like this, and it seems to be one of the favorite parts of the package. Now, you offer a myriad of fishing opportunities, and we're going to come back later and tell you about all the different fishing that's available here at the Gone Fishin Lodge. But we're going to do a flyout for silver salmon today.
That's right, and we feel so strongly about it that my partner Dick and I, we both guide on these trips, and we encourage everybody to add a flyout into their fishing package because it's just a lot of fun.
So tell me a little bit, what are we going to do?
Well, we're going to get on a float plane, and we're going to fly over to the west side of Cook Inlet. And we're going to try to go today. We're going to fish for silver salmon. We're going to hope that some bears come out while we're over there. It's in the same area where we do a lot of bear viewing, and we're just going to try to have fun. I mean, the fish have to cooperate. You know, if we can get over there, then we just have to have the fish biting.
Well, it sounds like a great time. The weather's a little shaky, but they're telling us it's going to clear up. So hopefully, when we get over there, we'll have bright sunshine, and we'll get over there. Well, we're at the Gone Fishin Lodge in Alaska. We're over just outside of Kenai, and we're going to head over to the other side of the Cook Inlet. So why don't you join us at the float plane, and we'll head over across Cook Inlet and see if we can find some silver salmon. Okay, well, we drove over here from the lodge. It was about a 20-minute drive, right, over here from the lodge?
Yep.
And you do so many different trips, and these flyouts are one of the important ones you offer because they just offer a whole different, unique experience. Tell you what, we're going to get on this plane. We're going to fly across the Cook Inlet to, what's the name of the river?
Big River Lake.
And that's also where you do your bear watching.
Phenomenal bear watching.
We're going to head across there. We're going to fish for some silver salmon. We looked for earlier this morning. It looked like the weather was going to sock us in, but it's beautiful. Looks like we're going to have a spectacular day. So let's head on over and join us over across the Cook Inlet fishing for silver salmon. Let's get on the plane and get going.
Let's go, man.
All right.
Bring him over here.
Oh, nice one too.
Oh,
He's putting up a good fight. All right, Chris. Oh, nice fish, nice fish. All right, Chris. Woo. Way to go.
yeah, baby.
Woo.
Silver salmon.
Good job.
That's a beauty, right?
Oh, that's a nice one. Nice one.
That's a beauty.
Oh, nice fish.
You came off one.
And I started reeling in one.
I might have to switch to that green spinner.
There's one in there, Tara, if you want to.
I'll try a couple more casts with this yet and see where it goes. But all
Good
right.
old silver salmon there. Beauty.
Broke the ice, one in the boat. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll.
Beauty fish.
All right.
Oh, it's dry. You guys had me worried there for a minute, but we're starting to hook into them now.
I'm too loose now. All right, you ready?
Come back, you bet.
Here we go.
Come back.
There we go. Yeah. All right.
Another nice fish.
Woo.
Woo, baby.
You know, Ralph, people can travel all over the world and fish. You come to Alaska during the silver salmon run. I know a lot of people say, well, I don't like to go after big fish because I like action. Well, let me tell you, you get fish like this. How about action and fish this big with action constantly? People don't understand. King fishing is fantastic. You get these huge trophy fish, but you can fish a long time without a bite. The
correct.
silvers are prolific, and when they're on, it's fish after fish, and you're talking fish from 8 to 15 pounds,
Yeah, we get them up 18 pounds up in this area, so it's,
and good eating.
yeah, it's real good eating, and I'm glad you guys are hooking up. You had me worried there. First 5 minutes of the trip, we didn't get a fish. I was getting worried.
Took 5 or 10 minutes for us to start hooking up, and he was complaining. That's the anticipation level of fishing
I
in
get
Alaska.
nervous. Guy gets nervous. You know, so
Well, let's get him down. Let's get another
Good
one.
job, guys. There in front of him. Did you see that? Ah, mercy. Bring him around the front. Try to get him around to the front.
All right, Dan.
Okay?
All right,
And
Dan.
if he's going to run, now these fish are going to run. Yeah, when you see all these fish right below us, there's no sense in fishing 20, 25 yards past them.
There we go. Awesome, awesome job.
Beautiful, man. There you go. Nice job.
Way to go. So we've been out here. We must have been fishing for 20 minutes already, or half hour, huh?
No, heavens no,
No,
man.
we've been.
What that when you see your watch?
10
I'll
minutes.
tell you what, we had about 5 to 10 minutes of slow time, and Ralph was getting in a panic, because we had gone 5 or 10 minutes being out here without catching a fish, and I got one calling me over here. But then right after that, all three of us hooked up within the next 10 minutes. I mean, a nice fish. You're talking about constant action, hooking up with fish that are going to range from maybe 8 pounds up to 15, 20 pounds, 15 pounds. And you're in one of the most beautiful settings in the world. We flew in here.
It's time now for Terry's tackle tip of the week.
I'm throwing a spinner, and I caught one on this, and Chris is throwing a spinner, and we'll give you some more close-up, but this is just a Blue Fox number 4 Vibrex spinner. I have a silver one, Chris has one, a chartreuse one. We both hooked up on that, so if you like to cast and work the lure, you got this option. A couple other options are
Salmon roll here.
they take the salmon roll, they harvest that from the salmon they catch earlier in the year, then they treat it, you hook that on, and then they'll eat that too, and that can be fished either just on a weight on the bottom or under a bobber. So really what I'm trying to get at here is there's any level of fisherman can find a way to catch these fish, and there's a lot of ways to do it. If you're like to cast, and if you're adept at casting and you want to just work a lure, you can do that.
Fish on.
And Chris isn't going to let us tell us. Let's go land this fish. We'll tell him more about it later.
That was Terry's tackle tip for this week, and now back to more angling adventures.
Would you
Well,
try to
that's-
keep that fish away
That's
from
what
my
these
line?
silvers do. These now, if he takes a run, let him go. See, like that. They want to take off and run. And you want to keep your tip up in the air. Keep the tension on him. But these fish are known for making a couple of runs on you, and that's the fun. Is you want to play these fish. A lot of guys that haven't been here before, like if you're down from Colorado, Utah, some of those areas where you've got trout and stuff. You don't catch a lot of fish that are this big on a regular basis down there, as far as the trout fishing. And so when people get these fish, they're in a hurry to bring them in. Well, these fish have some fight and kick in them. And this one here is maybe 5 pounds. You might be on the small side of some of these. It's nice shiny fish. Good healthy fish getting ready to come up and go spawning.
I tell you, and how many can you keep here in a day?
You can keep the limits 3 per person.
3
this
per
one
person.
here has somebody else's hook in it. It's already been hooked.
Wow, he broke somebody else off.
Nice job, Chris.
You know, a lot of people come here in July, June, July. They want to fish the kings. They hear about these 40, 50-pound salmon. Done that several times myself, and it's wonderful. It's something I certainly you want to do. But to me, August in Alaska, when you've got the silver salmon running and the chance to just catch numbers, the bites are constant, the action is so much greater than when you're fishing the kings. And then you've got a chance to maybe do the trout are doing so well. It's really in August that the rainbow trout start running up in the upper Kenai, and that is just a wonderful trip that we're going to show you on a different show. And you've got the halibut, of course, year-round here, both sides of the peninsula. And then when you get into this time of the year in August again, you've got the silver salmon in Resurrection Bay out of Seward. And when you're doing that, you can go for lingcod and sea bass, which are rockfish. And there's just so much to do in August. And if you don't catch a lot of fish and you really just want to come and have action, August is really better than July because the action is just steady. Isn't that right? Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of, oh, he had one on.
Oh,
Speaking of
fish off,
steady.
fish off.
Now you can come for the kings and the other times, and not that isn't
Oh,
wonderful.
it's awesome. It's a big draw. But
It's
you're exactly right.
But if you just want to catch fish and have action, August is really a better time.
Yes, it is. And a lot of kids and women can come up here and just have a blast and not have to worry about trying to catch one of these great big kings. And here there's more silvers, there's more red salmon than there are kings. And this is just a lot of action-packed stuff most days. It's still fishing though, Terry. We still have to tell everybody it's fishing. Oh, another fish on.
Oh, and that
Another
row
fish
has
on.
just been deadly.
Tearing them up.
That row is just deadly. I'm going to have to switch over to that row.
But they take off on this stuff that we've cured. Woo! I think.
Oh, it's
Bring
just,
around, bring around, bring around. Come on here.
get this out of the way. Oh, I get my line out of the way.
I'm going to have to switch you to spinners. You're exceeding the limit for fun. All right.
Oh,
This one's got a little bit of color in.
what a nice
Cut out,
fish.
But the nose, get this fish turned around, the nose is starting to bend a little bit. He's getting closer to spawning. It's a nice buck, as we call him up here.
That's a nice big fish too.
Fish
Boy.
are all pretty good size. We caught one that's really good. Okay, we're going to have to switch you over to spinners and let somebody else try that row.
You know, Ralph, the neat thing about your lodge is the fact that you do so many different types of fishing. You know, I've only, my crew's been up here for almost a week, but I've only got to come up for 3 days of fishing myself. But each day has been incredibly different. We floated down the Kenai one time for big trout and char, and what an incredible trip that was. And people are going to get to see that in another show. Some of the other things, you know, then another day we went out in the ocean and we went after silver salmon and lingcod and rock bass, and we just had the time of our life with all those different species. And we were out, you know, on the, you do a couple different types of ocean trips. You do the halibut trips on both sides of the
Both
peninsula.
sides of Cook Inlet and then out on the Gulf of Alaska.
And then you do the salmon and the lingcod trips out of Seward, which you call your combination trip.
Combination trips,
So people come here, they could have a day like we're doing out here. Now this was a fly out, and we're fishing silver salmon here. And we flew out, flew across the Cook Inlet, and we're in what's kind of a tidal-fed river basin is what it is. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
And we've got a river running in that goes above where the tidal waters would push it in. And the silver salmon are moving in here to spawn. They're congregating. It's a place where we're going to congregate them, and the action can be hot and heavy. In fact, before I got here, they came in here one day, and we should show you a few shots of that and then get back and tell you a little bit more about what we're doing here.
job, Karen. That's
Why do
kinda-
mine have to do the flips and rolls and lasso them?
We never know why, but let's go. Here we go.
Try
Oh, it's a
it.
beauty. Here, let's seize the net. Nope. You know, I didn't get a shower this morning, Karen, so thank you.
No problem.
Perfect.
Makes you feel better. See now
There
that-
you go. Right on. And see, you got him, still got him in the mouth. Look
Okay.
at that.
I'm
Okay.
just pulling it too quick.
Yeah. You're not the first excited person I've ever seen out here, you know.
Oh, gee, thanks. Well, it's kind of hard not to when you got all these fish going in
All
there and
these
you want them.
fish and oh yeah, and all the action, and that was a good hook right in the lip. If we were releasing this fish,
And be right there on the end.
we'd have made it.
Okay,
So,
great.
nice job. Let's do it again.
Alrighty.
You
There we
got
go.
him. I saw him swimming.
Swimming back. There we go. There you got it.
Oh, he's right down the belly. What do you mean? It's right in the mouth.
Oh, I know, but he wrapped himself and he was doing the good old roll and flip. So Ralph, how many women do you usually get up at the lodge? You get quite a bit? A lot of couples?
We know we get a lot more than we ever thought we did when we were going to build this thing, and a lot of women want to come up because
There's the
they can
variety.
help. They want to spend some time with their husband.
Right.
And
And they've got a lot of variety, and they don't have to go on all the different trips, right? They can
no,
plan their
there's
own
other
schedule.
trips, sightseeing trips and stuff, but a lot of them like to fish. They'll get right out there and fish, halibut fishing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's
silvers,
just it. I mean,
kings.
but there's a lot of opportunity for them to do other stuff too if they don't want to fish. Plus
Exactly.
the fact is you have accommodations where you've got the double beds, so the husband and wife can sleep together, and if it's a family, you've got
We've got
multiple
bunk beds in case they don't want to sleep together too.
Or if they get in trouble and
Yeah.
one can have the top and one can have the
one
bottom.
on the bottom. So that's right. Yeah, but we do get a lot of women up here, a lot more than we anticipated when we built this. So.
Well, that's one thing too that I'm really seeing in a lot of these lodges is there's getting to be a lot more women getting involved in it, and it's nice because, like you said, you have a nice hot shower, you've got nice comfortable beds, you know, you're not sleeping out in a tent, and then plus you've got the option to do a lot of fishing,
Yeah.
and you know, a lot of variety. And if you don't want to fish, you don't have to. You could just sit out on the patio and sit down by the river and read a book or whatever you want to
And
do.
we can bring them out here in the wilderness and
And
then
they
take
can
them
just-
back in, like you say, for a hot shower and a meal, and
They're happy campers.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Well,
and
thank
it's
you.
easy, and you're
It is.
demonstrating how easy it is.
Well, not always easy, but it's fishing.
Fish on. All right. Oh, he's coming up.
Come on, it's a beauty.
Oh,
Nice. Beautiful.
come on around. Well, I tell you, they are so strong, aren't they? And
They
fishing
are.
it with spinning tackle like this and this lighter
that
tackle just makes it so much fun. Just, you know, people who've never had a chance to catch a decent sized fish, you come fish these silvers, you get experience pretty soon at landing bigger fish and the feel of them and that tug on your line. And I was gonna say, it looks like he's resting, but he isn't nowhere ready to
Wow,
come in
these-
yet. He
these
was just,
fish look pretty fresh. They've
Oh,
only
look
caught,
at him.
Only caught one with a little color in him. Look at that.
oh. And they're jumping between us and the camera.
He
There
saw
he
the
goes.
net and he saw us. He thinks Karen's prettier.
Yeah, he's heading over to the camera. He didn't want nothing to
no
do with
fish.
me. He says, yeah, that ugly old guy, he's not gonna get me.
I missed, and he splashed me in the face for it. I can't.
You got it? Oh, there we go.
Nice
All right,
fish.
good job
Look at
with
that.
the net. Oh, that's
a
nice,
beauty.
That's a really nice one. That's
All
awesome.
right, Tara.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Silver salmon fishing, Gone Fishin Lodge. Across the Cook Inlet from the Kenai Peninsula. I tell you what, it is just fun.
Awesome, man. I'll hold him there.
I got him right here.
Crossways.
Got it right here. I'll tell you what. Silver salmon. What river is this?
This is Big River.
Big River across the Cook Inlet from Gone Fishin Lodge. You can come up to Alaska and you can catch fish after fish like this, have the time of your life, be taken care of, and be treated by some really good people. Come up in August, Gone Fishin Lodge. Take advantage of it. The information's here. We'll have it again in the credits. And most of all, tune in next week and join us for another angling adventure.
That's right. I'm gonna treat you to a little fresh salmon that hasn't even hit the refrigerator. You know, we try to do it as an added extra. It's a fun little treat to catch a fish, fillet it up, cook it fresh. You can only do it if the people get their fish fast enough and if it's not pouring down rain. Most people want to keep fishing rather than eat a fish if they don't have all their fish. You know, I think we're there. All right, folks. I think we're ready to try some of this fresh salmon, hot off the grill right out of Big River Lake. And it doesn't get much better than this. It's fresh. I don't know if this is the one you caught and donated, but there you go, bud. Couple, or Dan,
Good stuff there.
looks good.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
That's good. Yep.
Just a-